Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. How's life? I hope you will be fine and stay healthy. I am Divin Dasari. Here I would like to explain about the causative variables in second language acquisitions. Well, here there are 5 points. The first is about causative variables, and then the second is language teaching, and then the third is exposure, and then the fourth is age, and then the last is acculturations. Well, now here we are going to the first topic is about causative variables. There are two summarize. Actually, 2 points of summarize from second language acquisitions. The first is acquisitions is more important than learning, and then the second is in order to acquire. There are 2 conditions are necessary. The first is compressible input containing I plus 1 structure a bit beyond they are acquired current level, and then the second is a low or weak effective filter to allow the input in. Well, for the next point is about language teaching. Language teaching. That itself, the answer is conclude from this that language teaching certainly can help because its primary function is to supply compressible input for those who cannot get it elsewhere than those constrained by their situations or by their competence. And then for the next point is about exposure variables. Several exposure variables have been investigated with respect to second language acquisitions. Hypothesis that compressible input plus low filter are the two causative variables predict quite well when exposure variables related to second language acquisitions, and when they do not, those exposure variables are also indirect and not in themselves causative. Well, for the next point is about age. According from Creation and Long and Skerkela, 109,079, there are 3 generations. The first is a Dutch process through the early stages of the second language development faster than children do, or where time and exposure are held constant. And then the second is older children acquire faster than younger children, time and exposure held constant. And then the third is acquire who begin natural exposure to second language during childhood, generally achieve higher second language proficiency than those beginning as adults. Well, for the last point is about acculturations. Scam define the type of acculturations. The first type or the type 1, the learners is socially integrated with the TL group and as a result develops sufficient contact with TL speakers to enable him to acquire the TL. And the type 2 has all the characteristics of the type 1, but the learners regrets the TL speakers as a reference group push. Okay, I think enough for me. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.